back to the channel. We are building a top-down adventure game using Love2d and Lua. I'm going to show y'all what we had from yesterday. So we added our new animations, a new way to insert our animations on screen here, as well as we added these new sprites for our bricks, which I'm really liking. So we added that yesterday. Now today is going to be a combo of some pixel art and maybe some animation class working, because what I'm trying to do is I spent some time today and I made a new tree, so we might overwrite this tree, but honestly this tree has more character than the new one. I'll show you the new one, but we might be replacing this tree, and then I want to get to the point where we can hold items. So our character, hey Salto, good to see you here, dude. Yeah, we're making some progress, huh? So yeah, like we want to be able to hold items now, because that's gonna be how we're gonna be spellcasting. So we've got a decent amount of overworld sprites. We've got a way to animate them. We've got our character and collision detection working. So it's on the up and up. So here, I'll show you guys the new pixel art I made. So here's the old tree. Here's the tree I made it while I was at work today. It looks a little too round, I think. Like it needs to look bushy. Like this one has so much character. It's ugly, but at least it's got like character. This one just looks like a generic tree. And then I made like a little wooden fence too. So I'm curious to see what this tree will look like. And I didn't know what palette it was because I was doing it on my laptop while I was at work, so I'm gonna have to snag our palette and recolor it, but we'll see how it looks. Like, see, it just looks too circle, I think. It looks too round. I think I want it bushier and let's go here, load default palette. Is that really our palette? I swear every time we load this, it's different. Because I don't see either this green or this brown in this palette here. So I don't know if we screwed something up there. I believe in our Sprite documents, we've got our palette saved. Oh God. Maybe not. Wow. Yeah, I need to get better at this. Load palette. I guess I'm looking for the Sprite folder, which I'm not sure where it is. I thought it was just in documents. Okay, well, for right now, I'll just take it. Yeah, we're about to be able to add spellcasting to our game, so I'm excited for that. Now we want the green in the background of this to be matching our grass. Oops. so that it looks consistent, because we don't want, if we have it a transparent color here, it'll actually be the color of sand, because we're actually putting, actually it might get overwritten so it's not sand, but it wouldn't be correct if we left it transparent. So we're going to add the color of grass behind it, and then we'll see how this looks. So what I'm going to do is just save this tree over here if we want to reference it again. Because, I mean, the new one does clearly look better. I spent more time on it, but it doesn't have a lot of personality compared to the ugly one we made. Okay, let's go. Okay, so what's cool is if we just save this right here, we'll just save this as our master sheet. We overwrite our old one, then loading our game should have the new tree already, so it should be that easy. Okay. Yeah, it just looks weird. Our brown isn't the same brown, and it looks too round. And then the top up there, the green at the top is overriding the edge over here. So that doesn't look too good either. Yeah, it just needs to be more like fluffy instead of round. It looks really round. So we'll change that, and we'll get the proper brown in there. And then I don't know if I like the same color of grass as the top highlight of our tree, so maybe we'll do that different. Yeah, it does look better. It looks better, but it, like this just looks too generic. Like I kind of modeled that one off the one that's in Link's Awakening while I was at work today. I was supposed to be working. But like, look, I like how bushy this one looks. So maybe we will try to make it bushier, but it's hard because it's gotta fit in a square. If it doesn't fit in the square, like everything will be overlapping. Because you know we only have one tile to put in each square, so if there's too many empty spaces, then it's clear that it's like a tile. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, I'm liking the first one. I'm liking the first one. Let me see what the first one looks like again. Gosh, I mean, I spent, I don't know, I mean, because I was like pretending to work while I was making this, so it took me extra long because I had to make it look like I wasn't making pixel art while I was working. So it took me extra long. It probably took me like 2 hours. And then we're just gonna use our janky ass 2-second tree anyway. Let's see. Yeah, let's see it again. You know, I mean, I'm like used to this one now. I do like it. See, so like the tough thing is like if we make these top parts green, just like the grass it's over, or anything that's currently yellow, we make this grass green, then over here on the edge, or if we put it on the edge, it'll be green, and then it'll cut off, and then we'll see that it's a sprite there, which is going to be okay because ultimately everything is square and everything we want to draw isn't necessarily square. So there's going to be some overlap, but that's why you look at the Link Awakening trees and they're very rectangular because all the sprites are rectangular. So it's like they got to be smart with how they do it. But I guess if we shift this tree over to the right and down and we don't get this overlap with the yellow here, and then we add our grass green background there, it should look better. And then maybe we'll add, I don't really like that this is not having like a black outline there, so maybe we'll just tweak that a bit. But yeah, so Salto, I really wanted to see your stream yesterday, because I wanted to participate in the drawings and stuff, but I was at a concert last night, so I couldn't participate. But I hope it went well. Sweet, man. Yeah, I'll check it out. I don't know if you're gonna make a YouTube video for it, but I will check it out. And do you? I don't know if you post your VODs either. Do you post your VODs? This, like, for whatever reason, this one looks so jank, but it's just got that kind of character I like. I kind of think maybe we need some darker grass here creeping in. Does that look? That looks weird. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so like, I don't know if... I hear mixed things about YouTube, whether it's like, if you post... Because like apparently YouTube is bigger on retention, so if you post like a long video and the average watch time is only like 2 minutes or so, then it might hurt your exposure or something for the algorithm, but I really don't know what is true or not about that stuff. Yeah, I think I just want all of these up one so that we can have an outline of black on the bottom here. But yeah, man, I think you should have a YouTube. Well, like what I wanted to do with my business back in the day is just, you know, hook up local businesses with commercials and then go promote locally through Google AdSense, but no one wanted to pay for that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't like the black outline on the bottom. Okay. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I think that is a good idea. And then on your website, you can just post the facts, you know, on the video. Yeah, I'll have one YouTube, please. Daily YouTube. One of my streams from like 2 weeks ago ended up getting like 300 views on YouTube out of nowhere, so that was kind of interesting. What's weird is I kind of like it better with the yellow background. I don't know why the yellow background is actually looking better. That's so strange. Yeah, weirdly enough, I like the yellow background. I like our crappy tree and our yellow background. And then one thing I do want to do, there's I was peeping at the actual overworld map sprite sheet for Link's Awakening, and to kind of mix it up and not just have the square trees every single time, what they do is also they have one set of tree where it overlaps. So like the bottom right of this tree would be the top right of the next, so they can cram 5 in a grid of 4 instead of 4 in a grid of 4. So I think I want to do that too, just to give us that option of doing a little bit of an overlay with the tree. But I guess we'd wait till we're like finalized with the tree to do that, or we just don't care and just do it. I don't know. But here, I'm gonna give y'all some gold here in case Salto wants to buy a different Pokemon than Ekans. I just gave some gold to y'all if you guys want some different Pokemons there. I mean, Ekans could be your boy, I don't know. Yeah, today's gonna be a chill kind of pixel art kind of day. Okay. Yeah, for whatever reason, I like the the yellow background better than the green. I don't know why, but okay. And then, so we have to decide how. I've got a couple ideas. So like, if we're holding a lantern, right, and our lantern is going to be the element that we're going to be using for our magic spell casting, then when we hold a lantern, do we I've got a couple things where it's like, do we have a lantern in our inventory and we can just cycle through and have our lantern there, or is it a thing like there are lanterns around and you can pick it up, like take it off of a building or something and carry it around sort of deal and drop it? Or is it like a key item type of thing where it stays in your inventory? And then when we do pick it up, how do we manage the rendering of it? Because if you take a look at Tashio's hands here, they kind of swing back and forth. So like, I think if he's holding the lantern, you know, his hand would be kind of stationary. His head will still bob. His head would still bob a little bit, but I feel like his hand needs to be stationary. So we need to end up changing his walking animation if he's currently holding an element. So I don't know if the move is to make a new animation state called lantern hold or whatever, and then if his inventory item is a lantern, then we initiate the lantern hold walking state, or if we try to do something different with, like, where we could determine, hey, if his lantern is selected, then we just place a lantern where his hand would be on an appropriate frame. I don't know how that might look. So I don't know if we should try. You know, I mean, I feel like we should keep it to our... Let's take a look at our walking state and we'll see if we can kind of determine what we want to do. So in our scene, well, let's see how we handle the walking now. We give all of our entities a walk state and an idle state, and then is it in our player class? No. Let's see, our player class. I'm curious if we've got a change. Yeah, okay, it is in our player class. We've got a reference to the animation. So what this means is in our entity devs here, which is right here. Yeah, so in our player entity, we've got a bunch of different keys for our animation, and it is all from the same texture. So we might have, I think the current idea is we'll kind of duplicate our walking texture, and we'll just add a lantern to his hand at the appropriate location. Oh, nice. Yo, Salto Manga, I've been wondering when someone was gonna pull out a Kaio, or however you say it. I've never known how to say that word. Is it Chow? Chow? I say Kaio, but that's like what me and my friend would say in 4th grade when we were playing Sonic DX, and we didn't know how to read. So, but I'm glad you got him. That's cool, man. Okay, so yeah, I think the current idea is instead of trying to place a lantern object in the current spot of what our animation current frame is, I think we just make a new animation texture for our walking, and we just give it the lantern. Chow. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I always said Kaio. Dude, those mini games were so fun in that game. Or like having the little Kaio garden with all your little guys and feeding them little snacks and stuff. That was awesome. So let's pull up our character walk and we'll see if we can design a little lantern for us. Now, we might need wider than 16 here. Because if his lantern, it depends how much detail we want in the lantern, right? So like, I was thinking like maybe a, it's really weird because I feel like they're a super hit. Like anyone who's played that game loves the Kaios, but yeah, they never added them again. Like what the heck? Like, and then you can race them and stuff and have little tournaments. Like that was the shit. Let's open up our player texture here. Yeah, see, I think we might need to make bigger than 16 for this. Which is okay, because as far as the animations are concerned, it wasn't... Like, our collision and stuff is just based on our X and Y and width and height. But our animation size doesn't affect our player's width and height. So we should be able to add a little bit of a lantern in front. So like if he's holding the lantern here and it goes out, one more pixel than we've got, so 17 pixels out instead of 16. The animation will just draw it bigger, and it'll ignore that frame in terms of like hitboxes and everything. But let's see if we can. I want to save this as like a lantern, player lantern atlas. And I was thinking about a torch to do fire and maybe like some particles. But I was kind of thinking like a lantern is more kind of unique. Because I don't know how... I mean, there are lanterns, and like in Bloodborne you got a little lantern. But I feel like torches are more common than lanterns, and I feel like a cool kind of shimmery blue lantern might be cool. I'm thinking blue because in our game the fire isn't red fire, because it's not killing the monsters. It's like this blue magic fire that is going to be decorrupting the evil that's in this world. So it's like this blue kind of purpley magic fire instead of red fire, and the blue is more complementary to our character's red hair here. So instead of red fire going around his red head, I feel like blue purple fire going around his red head would look cooler. So I'm thinking we'll do a lantern like that, but we could change our mind and just go back to a torch. We might have torches anyway, and lantern, I don't know, because I was thinking some of the game is going to be about like finding these elements, right? So like if you go into the mountains, into the icy mountains, and you cleanse or you decorrupt some of the enemies there, you can get like little ice shards that you can do ice magic with. But if you just have an item like an ice shard and you just have it for the rest of the game, then there's no incentive to gain those ice shards or to like go explore the mountain to get some ice shards. So I'm trying to, I want to play around with this idea of the vibrancy of an object. So it's like, it's really just like, I don't know what it's called in other games, but just the durability, right? Like in Breath of the Wild, where your new sword is fine, and then as you use it, it gets more brittle and brittle and brittle until it breaks. But in this game, it's like you're harnessing the vibrancy of an element, and as you cast spells with it, its vibrancy goes down, and it gets weaker, you know, when it's in its middle used state, and then when it's low, it's not as powerful, and then it'll shatter or something to force you to go get some more elements, so that you don't just have an ice shard and then never need to go back to the ice mountains for any reason or something. So, hey Prosto, good to see you, dude. How are you doing? Yeah, we're trying to make a lantern for our character today, because once we've got a lantern, it'll be, hey, that's nice, that's good. Always good to be alive. So yeah, we want to add a little lantern so that we can ultimately add our magic spellcasting finally. So we want to give... We're trying to experiment what a lantern might look like in Tashio's hand here, so that we can play around with ultimately spellcasting. So like... Gosh, it's so hard. It's so hard with the limited pixels we've got to make a lantern-like object here. It's almost like we can do like a checkerboard. Let's see what a checkerboard might look like. That doesn't really read lantern-y. Like, I'm thinking about those lanterns that look kind of like this. Oh gosh. But then they have like the... Oh god. A window like that? Gosh, that looks so bad. But it's got to be like size appropriate, and he's only 16 pixels, so we've got to figure something out here. Let's see if we start coloring it in. It'll look interesting here. Hey, it's going good, man. Yeah, Prosto, it's going good. I spent all this time today at work making this tree, which looks better than, I mean, technically it looks better than the tree we did have, which this is our tree, but then I put it in the game and it just didn't do it for me. So like I replaced our old crappy tree in there because it just felt better to me. So I don't know if we'll end up updating it or what, but just looks like a blueberry. Doesn't read as lantern, huh? The tree looks like a turtle. It's just too round. It doesn't have any personality. So I liked... I like our fugly one. Gosh, I think we need it like one size bigger of a lantern, like... You just can't add detail if it's so tiny. Like, the biggest thing is I would just want it readable as a lantern. So, oh, that kind of looks like a scarab beetle almost. Yeah, that's not very readable, huh? Like if he's holding it, and he might, you know, this is going to be a totally separate animation than his walking animation, so we could move it so that his arms outwards, like holding it in front of him. But it doesn't read lantern to me, so I want to switch it up. We might have to go with a torch just based on readability. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't not look like a lantern. Like, I'm wondering if we scoot his hand out. Like, if we scoot this hand outwards like he's holding it in front of him, more lantern-like, if that would look better. So we might... Because, like, in order to get any amount of detail in the lantern, it kind of has to be this big. Gosh, but then it doesn't look right when he's holding it. Or, like, yeah. Would it be weird if he's holding it a little... Yeah, it'd be weird if he's holding it in front of his face, huh? Well, it kind of... Looks like he's just, like, munching on a bunch of grapes. Yeah, it's very hard to make a lantern readable in 16 by 16 pixels here. Yeah, so like the only reason I'm thinking blue fire is because it's more of a magical fire. It's not like a destruction fire. It's more like a cleansing fire, because it's when we attack our enemies that are corrupted with the goop stuff in our game, it's not supposed to kill the animals. It's supposed to cleanse their corruption, or whatever we call it. So it's like, I'm thinking blue. One, because it contrasts with his red hair. Because if it was red fire around red hair just looks a little, I don't know, samey. So, and then I think it's just, I don't know, blue fire looks cool. So maybe just blue fire. Maybe just try to make bars with a darker shade. Do you mean like horizontal bars here? Like, it's like it could be inner black lines. So like the vertical, or the God, like horizontal instead of vertical here. That looks like a battery, but it just looks like a battery to me. We can, it's so hard to shape things when you got such little pixels to work with. If there's a light inside and looking on it, bars should be kind of eaten by the light. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, if we brighten it up a bit, we can make, Yeah, this is looking trash. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if we can get a decent color. That looks like almost Windows blue. Like I want it more purpley, I guess. Like I want it to be kind of mystical. Yeah, no, you know, Eaton makes sense. Eaten by the light, wrapped up like a deuce. That makes sense. Let's see here. It's the hardest thing is like we need to get the shape, like the basic shape of it down, which we tried to do over here. That looks like an acorn. That looks like a battery. That looks like a holy hand grenade. And that looks like a batch of grapes. But none of them read lantern to me, so like we've got to figure out what that base shape is. And hopefully it's not so big that it doesn't look like it can fit in his hand. So like and then instead of pure black, kind of like Prosto's saying, is like maybe the blue light is kind of eking out, and then you don't see the bars as black, you see them as brighter blue. And we can even add some effects. It looks kind of like a shield now, but it's like it just doesn't scream lantern to me. It's just, I mean, this is kind of looking better. It looks so simple, but there's only so much we can do with such little pixels. So maybe it kind of looks like a little beetle, because like look, we give him little little arms like that, and it's a little beetle. That's looking kind of lantern-ish. Let's see here. God damn it. Yeah, I want to see what this looks like if I didn't screw up this guy over here. So let's try. That really did look like a thing of grapes. But let's see if he's holding this. See, and I think it needs to be kind of like in front of him, like he's holding it like that. So I do think it needs to be, the sprite would need to be wider than 16, but as far as the game's concerned, it only really cares about the 16 by 16 in terms of the player X and width and height and everything. Yeah, something like this where he's like holding it, but then he's not holding it by the handle here, so it looks like, no. It can't drag on the floor either, so it's kind of got to be up here. See if we can make it 1 pixel shorter. Looks just like a pot. No, like a little vase. And yeah, it just looks like a little pot. maybe we do something different here with the bars here. It's not reading as lantern to me. It's really tough. Yeah, we might have to go. We might have to just go for a torch. But I don't know. I mean, even a torch would be like covering his face and everything, unless he's holding it in front. I do want to figure out if this lantern idea is possible. Yeah, you know what? Let me pull up a lantern reference and see if I'm missing a decent shape we can try out here. No, I haven't added sounds just yet. Yeah, I haven't added any sounds just yet. Which, this game is big on an arch design. I'm curious what... Like an arch on top or an arch... Because it's just with the pixel art, it's so tough to do curves, and especially when it's got to be this tiny, it's just super tough to kind of get any sort of curve. Like this is kind of like I tried this kind of curve here, but then this isn't readable. Oh god. Thanks for the first time chat, Miyagi-Do. Good to see you here. Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, that was kind of my first idea, is to do the kind of classic kind of lantern sconce or whatever they call it. So maybe, yeah, let's try it again, and let's try it a little bit wider this time. So maybe we've got 2 pixels up here, and then this arch, and then it can kind of taper back down. And then we'll see if we can get anything looking decent in there in terms of shape. Yeah, we might want to change, because I don't like the plus on in the middle there. But it can't be much bigger than that, because if he's holding it, it's already touching the floor, so we can't really make it any bigger than that. I mean, it could just be an orb, like a magical orb that glows. We could go that route, and we can just make some fancy animation for it, so it kind of glimmers like a magic kind of cloudy globe thing. Because it is really hard to get a lantern to be readable at this size. Yeah, shit. You know, I'm kind of curious about the orb now. Yeah. Yeah, I like that dark purple on the bottom like that. Yeah, see, and I think if we do go like the orb route, the magic balls route, we would get... We can get fancy with like some animation for it, I think. But if it's part of his walking state, we'd have to animate it in his hand. And then if we turn, it would kind of reset the animation, but that might be okay. It might be just like a little glimmer, or a little bit of movement in the dark purple down there at the bottom. So let's see what an orb might look like. because we just have to go smaller for readability. Because the whole human is only 16 pixels tall, so if a lantern's only got to be 5 pixels tall, you just can't get much detail in it. Is that as round of a ball as we can make? I think so, because it's like, it's either that. Yeah, because we don't want it to be, yeah, it's either square or it's a plus like this. Or we make it even bigger. How big should his blue balls be, guys? Yeah. Really does just have to be a plus like this. A chunky plus. Because at least, like, that is definitely readable. Like, you know that's blue balls. And then he could be holding it. Because, like, we need in the game, we need a thing that doesn't lose, like a thing that doesn't break, so that you always have a way to cast magic. Because in this game, it's not like Link's Awakening where you always have a sword or shield and you have infinite uses on the sword. So it's gonna be like he's gotta have something that he can always fall back on, like his base attack. That ultimately doesn't lose vibrancy and break over time. So I'm thinking maybe he's gifted one of these blue balls, and that's his kind of magic item that can be reused. But it's too big. That really is too big. And then this is not a ball at all. It's very tough. It's very tough. It's a good challenge because it's like you got to be pixel perfect with your ideas, or else it's just not readable. But a ball is so hard to do. Because I don't know, it's kind of stupid if he's like walking around holding a ball like that as his main weapon. Like, it's kind of weird. I mean, maybe he's got a staff with a ball, and it's just like a magic wand staff thing. Because that's not readable as a ball. But yeah, that's not readable as a ball. It has to be that big to be ball readable. Let's toy with the idea of like a ball staff, and we'll see. Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. See, like it's a trope there, you know. Magic guys love balls, and attached to wood. Let's see. Because if he's walking with it, it covers his face, at least on this side. It'll cover it, like... It does kind of cover his face, but I guess it depends on how... We could kind of reach his hand out. Well, shit. God damn it. Yeah, the ball is just so big. I'm just like... I mean, there's... I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It can't be, the ball can't be smaller than that to be readable. It has to be that big, but then when it's that big, it's too big. Because it covers up his whole face when he's walking with it. Like if he's faced the other way, like let's say if he's right-handed, which he's actually left-handed, but if he's right-handed, then when he's walking to the right, it would be covering his face like that, which might be okay. Like it'll add kind of to the 3D-ness. If when he's holding in his left hand, you only see the far side of it, you know? Like this would be behind it. Let's see what that might look like. So what we'll do is we'll leave that. We'll leave his staff here and we'll see what it looks like to put him over it. So when he's walking on the other side, what it might look like. Yeah. See, like that's kind of, that looks like there's a staff in his right hand and it's just tall like that. He'd hold it, yeah. Like, you know, Lord of the Rings, that seer stone or whatever it was called. That thing, like you don't just hold that thing like this. You gotta two-hand that sucker. Okay, so yeah, he's like got it. I was gonna say he can hold it in a little sack. Yeah, no. You know, I don't know what we'd call that sack, but it'd be a sack for his orb. Orb sack. Semisphere on his belly. Yeah, let's see. So like if he's holding it on his belly. Gosh, it's just so big. It takes up, it's the size of his whole bottom half of body. You know, I'm kind of curious to try something here. What I'll do is I'll make a little orb like this. I'll make a new tile. We're gonna export this, and I'm just gonna see if we can get this spinning in a circle, because maybe he's just like magicking his orb around him or something. Or maybe it's like going around his body this way, kind of floating around him or something. I'm just kind of curious if that might be possible. I don't know if I like that idea just yet, but we'll save this as orb. We want to save it as a PNG. Okay. Let's make sure we actually exported that sucker, because I don't trust myself. Orb. Okay. So it's source, or it's graphics orb. So let's go import it, so we have access to it. I'll look, I don't know what that Avoska is. I can look that up though. Okay, we're going to our dependencies and we're gonna go require our orb. And it looks like we don't, oh, here's our global textures. I won't put it in a global texture because I don't know if we're gonna keep it just yet, but we'll call it orb and we'll assign it here. And we're gonna go to our graphics folder. And we don't need this slash, we can just say graphics / orb.png. So now our orb should be a drawable bag made from a net. I think I know what you're talking about. I'm thinking of those like soccer ball nets that you used to put like a soccer ball in and then kick it and it was like an elastic string and it would like come back to you or whatever. Okay, so we've got an orb, so let's go ahead and go in our scene here. And let's just get an orb on screen. So like, we'll literally just print, we'll love.graphics.draw an orb here. So it takes in a drawable, it takes in an X and a Y, and I think that should be it. Let's just put like 2020. And we'll set the color to be white. Okay. Okay, we've got a little orb. Now I'm curious if we could do some orb moving. I don't like it that purple. I like it more blue. But then I don't want it to look like Windows either, so the operating system. Let's try that. Let's see. Now, let's put our orb at 4040. Okay, looks like it's in our hand, but it's just floating there. I'm curious if we can just kind of throw this around and use a blue-yellow shifting. Like it turns from blue to yellow? Like all blue to yellow, or like gradient blue to yellow? Here, let me see. So the argument for rotation is X, Y, and then I think it's rotation. Let's give ourselves a rotation variable here. Rotate gets 0 to start with, and then we'll just go ahead in our update function. Where's our update function? We'll say rotate gets rotate plus delta time here. And then if rotate, and the thing is, I think if you want lighter and darker shades, you can use lighter and darker. You talk about like specifically in A-Sprite? Slightly yellowish. Here, we'll try that. I'm gonna try to get it rotating first here. Now, I think if we do this just with rotate, I want to say they do rotation in radians instead of degrees. Okay, we got some spinny balls. If you want lighter and darker shades, you can just use lighter and darker. Are you talking about like the shading in A-Sprite where you can kind of like pick a palette and then like left click shades it darker and right click shades it brighter or whatever? Or you're talking about like adding yellow to blue just makes it look richer or something? I don't know. Okay, well, we got a spinny orb. It just looks like crap. Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? I need to look up, like, more stuff in radians, because right now our rotate is just going up and up and up and up, but it's not, I thought it would crash, like, once it passed a certain amount of radians, but it's just... Do you guys understand radians? I don't get radians. I'll have to just take like one day and study it. But Love doesn't measure rotation in degrees, they do it in radians. So a radian is a unit for measuring the angles that we use in trig. Instead of using degrees, a circle is just above 6 radians. What? Okay. I went to school, but I didn't learn. I mean, I know we were supposed to learn this. 1 radian equals 180 divided by pi degrees, and 1 degree is pi over 180 radians, duh. Therefore, converting a specific number of degrees, multiply the number of degrees by pi over 180. So 90 degrees times pi over 180 is pi over 2. Yeah, my brain doesn't think in terms of pi very often, except when it's pi day, y'all. Hey, it's pi day and we're working on radians. That seems appropriate, right? I planned this all along. Oh God, but like what? Okay, this still doesn't make sense to me. Like, why let's make sure that our love.graphics.draw is in fact in radians. Let me just make sure that's the case. I'm not imagining that. So it says the third argument here, or the fourth argument, is orientation in radians. So why is it that I'm giving it just a normal number and it's rotating it over and over without crashing? Like, our number is just increasing. If we were to print up our rotate, it would be like hundreds or thousands at this point. So look, local angle, get what? 1 turn every 2.5 seconds. Let's see what this looks like. So instead of rotate, we'll just do this little thing here. We'll see what this looks like. We want to go to our scene, and we'll try it here. We'll give us a local angle, and it's going to be the time times 2 times that. Okay. And then when we draw it, we want to draw it at our angle, not at our rotate. Okay, well, we're not updating it, so let's make sure we're updating it. Oh my gosh, where? There. Okay, it's still not. We need to set our angle to be here. Set our angle to be Yep, I don't get radiance at all. I'll have to take a day or two and like really actually try to understand it. Yeah, I don't get it. But I also don't get. Yeah, I would kill for some rhubarb pie right now. Okay, let's go back to updating our rotate, and we'll go back to drawing at a rotate. But what we'll also do is we'll print up what our rotate is. So we'll print rotate, and we'll concatenate it with our actual rotate value. And then we'll put it at maybe 5. Okay, we need to go. First of all, we need to concatenate it with the concatenation operator. And then we can put in the X and Y. Yeah, so our rotate. An angle subtended from the center of a circle, which intercepts the arc equal in length to the radius of the circle. That's what 1 radian is. You know, I'm able to read that, but my brain hears subtend. I'm like, okay, and it hears, like, what is, like, yeah, so like we could just convert it to, see, and I guess I just don't get why they would default to radians. Like, how do we, like, are there people who are better at thinking of these angles in terms of radians, and I'm just like not used to that? I'm curious if this gets over 360, does that mean it'll, like, so I can use math.rad, pass in this angle, and it'll convert it to radians for me. Let's see. I'm curious. I would assume that this would crash. Like, I didn't think it would just continue to spin and spin and spin if we give it a bigger and bigger number. That doesn't make much sense to me. I appreciate you trying to help, Prosto. I'm like, I know sine and cosine and tangent, but I just don't. I mean, I know they're all like ratios with one another or something. SOHCAHTOA something. Yeah, I really do need to brush up on my trig if I'm going to be game dev, you know? So let me see. Yeah, it's super important for game dev stuff. I need to just take a couple days and really try to understand it. So it's useful because you can use the cosine of the radians in order to calculate different velocities and stuff. Or the sine. I'm just trying to get my Orbi to circle our body. I'm just like trying to have control over that so I can play with it and see if I like that style of animation, because right now the lantern idea isn't really working out. So I was just curious if I can get an Orbi to kind of spin around him, but that might be just an animation thing we do, not a thing in our sprite sheet and not a thing in our game that we're updating and calculating the rotation and everything. But it might be something like that, but I was thinking it was easier to try to pull it off in Love just to see if I like that idea, because I don't know if I want to do that just yet. Yeah, you know what? I will make an effort to really try to learn radians here in the next couple days so that I can know what I'm talking about here. remember staring at this in high school, being like, these are all numbers. Oh yeah, well, so Prosto, what do you do with 3D stuff? You do some Unity stuff or what? So if you think about, yeah, pi over 2, pi. So like half of pi, 3 pi over 2. Oh, no way. Yeah, so I remember you saying that you posted in your Discord or something. I went to go check it out and I couldn't find the link or anything. Do you have a GitHub or something you can share on chat here so I can go check it out? I know. That's exactly what I was thinking about, aka Bob. I was like, this is Miss Gomez all over again. Here, I'll see if I can check it out here. Link in Twitch bio here. Yeah, I remember going to your Discord, but I couldn't find the love file or anything. "3D voxel game," that's the one. Okay, I see the love file here very clearly. So let's see if we can try it. Yo, dude, this is in Love2d? This is awesome. Yo, yes, dude, this is sick. This is really awesome, man. This is awesome, dude. I did not know Love could do this crap. What are you, what kind of, how'd you learn how to do this? This is awesome, dude. Wow, it looks really great. See, and this is one reason I love Love, is that you can just package the game like that as a .love, and we just ran it like no problem, like super easy. That was really cool. Yeah, I'm gonna check out that some more, but that is really cool. Yeah, so like, I mean, I just never knew, I didn't know you could do full-on 3D like that. I really had no idea. Was there like some kind of starting point you used for like the I can't even fathom how to pull that off in Love. I really don't know. Hey, good job though. That's awesome, man. That's really cool. Okay, so I'm not sure how far I'm gonna get learning the unit circle tonight, but I will study it so that I can understand radiance better, because that's important for game dev stuff. Okay. So let's take a look at where we're at here. Oh, we've got a weird orb. Yeah, we'd want to do that rotation just in the actual sprite sheet. I just don't think I like that idea. Yeah. I get that it's just a different measuring unit. It's just that, like, if you ask me how far different a pi times 5/6 is on the unit circle, I'm like, I don't know. I just don't think it in terms of the fractions that much, but I'll kind of try to internalize like pi over 2 pi 3 pi over 2 what those values are, and then try to wrap my head around it, just because I haven't actually given it like serious thought. Okay, so I'm not sure the lantern idea is working. Yeah, pi is 180 all the way on the other side. 2 pi is 360. Okay. And then pi over 2 is 90. Yeah, exactly. 3 pi over 2 is 270. Okay, so I guess in terms of next steps here, I'm gonna on my own probably experiment a bit more with how we can be holding either a lantern or fire, or how our main kind of element can be held. Now we also, since we have other elements, we do need to figure this out. So like if we have like an earth element and a ice element, we need to figure out what that looks like in terms of, he probably needs to hold it in a similar way. So it could make sense to have the little element like kind of circling him, and then whatever active element you've got. Yeah, I'm rotating this one. I'm rotating. It's just, it looks like crap because of the subsampling or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, see, that's what I need to do. Instead of rotating it, I need to draw it moving like that. That's exactly what I would need to do to make it smoother, because it's trying to interpolate all those other pixels and it's just looking like crap. So yeah, I think you're right about we want to move it on a circle orbit. But I'm not sure where to even start with that. Yeah, I don't know how to conceptualize that. So that'll be a fun learning experience. I think that is a cool idea. And then we can have it x plus dx plus cosine of time. So we do cosine of delta time there. Y. So is that so like x would get itself plus its dx times cos time, and then y gets y plus its dy times sine delta time, sort of deal. See, like that, I don't get why that would. Yeah, let me see. So we've got cosine of time. Yeah, we start at 0. And we want to orbit in the circle. Like bing, bang, boom, blip, blop, beep, boop. See, and then imagine a line from point on circle to x-axis. So like, is that the subtending they're talking about? Like right here? This line to this line? Then this line to this line? When you move from 0 to 180, all the way over here, yo, everyone give a shout out to Prosto for giving us all a trig lesson here. From 1 to -1 on x-axis. Yeah, so 1 positive 1 here to -1 over here, with this being 0, 0 in the middle. you move from 180 to 0, it moves back. Yeah, x is going from 1 to 0 to -1 to 0 to +1. Yeah, left, right, and then our y is going opposite, or yeah, 0 to 1 to 0 to -1. So the same kind of oscillation, just in a different direction. Trying to give you money here, Prosto. You need to move them not at the same time, but with the shift. So x is +1, y is 0. +1, y is 0. When x is 0, y is 1, yep. And then when x is -1, y is 0 again. Yeah. 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 So when you said to do the cosine of time, for x we use cosine because we want it to be going down to -1. Is that why we want to use cosine? And we use sine for y because we want it to be positive first. Okay. So let's see here. So time the radians. Time if your radians. I don't know. So we want, when you were saying you'll get the values from 0 to 1, so multiply it by some value, and is that the time value you're passing in, or the dx that you're saying? So that's just like a constant input to give us an actual space to move it, like instead of a tiny circle, but like a bigger circle, or whatever that input we slap in there. So let's try this. Let's see what. So if we can do let me see here. So if we do math.cosine of time here, or of delta time here, and we print this up, will it be that oscillating value you were talking about? Cosine times, oh God. A is your speed, B is the distance. So you multiply the input by the speed, That's the dx you're talking about, and then times b, which is going to be the distance of the shifting. So we do need to multiply it by something to give it a velocity of distance or whatever. Let's see here. We want to pass in cosine of time, and we'll put it at 515. We'll go up to where we do cos time, and we'll multiply this by, we'll just say by 3 or something for right now. So we need the velocity. A and B could be 1, but it's kind of slow and will barely move. Don't rotate it. Yeah, we're not... Rotate is there, but I'm just trying to look at the value of this x. I call it cos time, but it really should be just like... We can call it x, I guess. Just see. Result is not time, not an angle. It's a coordinate, an x and a y. Yes, but right now we're only doing the, oh god. I'm just trying to do one of the coordinates for right now, just to kind of see if I'm getting the oscillating that you're talking about. So x plus dx times... Yeah, man, I am not so sure what I'm trying to do here, but I will figure it out. Let's just see. So we need to... We need to modify x by itself plus this cosine. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I'll research this stuff. Yeah, I should have paid more attention in Trig. If I would have known, I'd be making games and needing this stuff. So I guess, like, what is responsible for the oscillating movement that you were talking about there? Is that where the cosine function comes in to modulate it like that, back and forth? Okay, but then we have to put in... If we put in a constant into that function, it's always gonna spit out the same number. So we need to yeah, what did you say? We have our velocity there as a dx, and we times it by our cosine of time. Yeah, I guess I'm just, yeah, I really got to research this stuff because, like, I couldn't tell you what they mean. Okay. Okay. So that helps me wrap my head around those functions if it's always going to be, because they relate to the radians, which relates to the coordinates of 0, +1, -1. So you can easily set your amplitude just by multiplying it. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. But I guess I don't get, like, yeah. Yeah. All the way around is 2 pi. Yeah. Okay. I don't think I ever thought about it like that. If you put time into these functions, it'll make a full circle every 6.28 seconds. Okay. But we need... So I guess I'm just... That's just so weird to me. It's so weird to me to think of an irrational number being half of something, like, or like irrational number pi is, you can multiply it to make it spin faster or slower. Yeah, so I mean, and you said cosine for the x and sine for the y, but when we pass delta time into... Let me see. So, like, how would I get, if I want to just get a variable and say, I want the variable to be oscillating into that radians number, into that 6.28 or whatever, and I want to say, like, hey, just store that number of radians so I can see it oscillating. So, like, if I use a variable for that, like x, I would assign it, I can use sine x and cosine for y, just don't use one for both. So, like, if we want to use cosine for x and we pass in delta time, and I want to see this oscillating value you're talking about. Now, if I just print up what x is, which is cosine of delta time, it's 1. So that's the positive, but I want it to be oscillating like you're talking about. So I need to comment line when you set rotation. Comment line when you set rotation. Well, we can get rid of this rotation. We're not... Yes, like, we'll get rid of rotation. Let's only draw our thing at x instead of rotation. Actually, yeah, this is wrong. We don't want the... This is it right here. We don't want to pass in any rotation. We just want to pass in the x of whatever our cosine is. rotate gets rotate plus delta time comment it. Comment line when you set rotation. I don't know what you mean by that, but so look, we have rotate and it's to 0. We'll go to our update and we'll say rotate gets rotate plus delta time. I don't know what you mean by comment it. Then do we, or let me just print up, I want to print up what rotate is just so we make sure. Yeah, I don't think we have angle anymore. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we don't need rotation, we're just moving it on the X and Y here. Yeah, I'm just trying to get, I want to see that oscillating value that you're talking about and how to get that with the cosine. So right now it's just cosine of delta time here. Okay, so add times 10. So that'll be 10 instead of 1. Hey, Real Rev, how's it going, man? Hey, Prosto's just helping us out on some trigonometry stuff right now. So we're trying to figure out how to rotate an orb in a circle. And not really rotate it, but move it in a circle pattern. So that's what we're working on. Math dot cosine times time times 10. Yeah. And then we can have y to be sine time times 10. How are you doing, Real Rev? Real Rev. Do people call you Very Real, or do they call you Real Rev, or what's the situation on that? I know, exactly. I haven't been staying on top of my rev. Okay, cool. Delta time is like it's time between frames, so it's like a 0.2 something. I want to say it's like 0.2 something. We can print it up here. 0.16 or something small. Oh my goodness. Delta time is toString delta time, and we can say 5:35. You need a total, okay, not delta time, you need to use time a total value. So do we, it's just a constant number instead of, or like we just declare it to be like, okay, cosine and sine should take an argument that's constantly increasing. So not delta time, because that's just a number like this 0.16 or whatever. Or actually, delta time is not even being printed here. So we'll give ourselves a time. So we just continuously increase time forever to use this. So time gets time plus delta time. And then not delta time here, but we want time. Oh, look at it moving, look at it moving. Okay. So like what is I guess I don't like the idea that time just perpetually grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. Like, I mean, if we just leave it on one frame, it'll just keep growing. Add plus. Sorry, Pro, so I don't know what the plus SMTH to the end is. Offset for the coordinates, okay. So we've got to do, or we plus a certain amount of offset, but let's see. Gosh, it still looks like it's rotating. It might be because we're not. Y times time times 10 to be faster. See, then I don't like that even more because it's like, why does well. Oh, in sine and cosine? That's the dx you're talking about? Okay. Let me just... Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Yeah. Total time if it's useful. Well, no, so like, if our actual time here, I just don't like that this number is going up indefinitely. All we're doing is incrementing that. I don't like that. Because it's like if we leave the game on, you know, who knows how long, and it just goes up and up and up and up. Okay, so I guess the next thing would be we'd want to tether this position to our player. Yeah, I've got a PS4 and a Switch. yeah. I've got yeah, the console. I think there's just a. I've done it before. I think instead of love.graphics.print, we just have to do print, and then it'll show up in the console. Oh, maybe not. I don't remember how I've done it. I know I've done it. And maybe I just have to do it outside the render function or something. I know I've seen it. Yeah, there you go, Rev. Just like, embrace chaos. Lua number is what? Double? What is max of double? A gazillion? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how many bits a double is. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to do the console. I know I've accidentally done it where it would go. Okay. Yeah, okay, I feel better about that then. So if I want to put the orb at, we want to tether it to our player's position. We can say self.player.x and y plus that orb offset. Okay, so now we just need to figure out how to we need to make this offset, or yeah, we need to just change the offset so it's centered. Hey, what just happened? Yo, Salsa, thanks for the raid. I appreciate that. I hope your stream went well. What are you up to on your channel over there? Yo, hey, thanks for the raid. We are working on some orb rotation here. I'm trying to get the orb to rotate around my character's body and not just over here. Hey, thanks for the follow, Rough Cookie. I really appreciate it. We're trying to hit affiliate, and we're only 3 followers away, so I really appreciate that. Hey, hey, thank you guys. I really appreciate this. Yes, I am learning. I mean, it is Pi Day, but Prosto here was giving me some trig lessons here. Thanks for all the follows, you guys. I really appreciate this. This is a great Pi Day. So yeah, we're making a top-down adventure game, kind of like Link's Awakening. Yo, thanks for all the freaking follows, guys. I really appreciate that. So yeah, we've got some like animated sprites here. We've got collision for some overworld map objects, and then now we're trying to add elements into our game because that's how our spell casting is gonna work. Yo, welcome everybody. I really appreciate everyone checking out the stream here. Hey, wow, did we really hit 50? Thank you guys so much. Wonderful Pi Day. Happy Pi Day to all. But yeah, we're trying to, hopefully we can get this offset so that we can hopefully put our orb around our player. Let's see. Yeah, very close. So the other thing is we'd have to give our dimensions, like maybe this is like a times 14 or 15. Wow, I really appreciate all the love, guys. All those follows is awesome. String.format to print numbers. Oh, you know, I have seen string.format and it is nice because you can kind of truncate. I do really like that. And then we want to shift this maybe by just 5 and 5, and maybe that will be circling around us now. Okay, yeah. We do need a bigger velocity so it's going faster. And I would like it to be like if we can, you know, if our cosine is positive, or if our if our orb is above us, I'd want the render order to be behind us, and if it's in front of us, you know, so hopefully we can get a, yo, thanks Prosto, that's exactly what I was looking at, or that's exactly what I was thinking. I forgot what it was, but it's, yeah, strings %.2 and then the value 2f. Oh, okay. Well, Super King, you got Prosto to thank for that. At least today we're doing all this stuff. I picked up Lua because I took the CS50 game dev course on YouTube, and they made me make Pong and then Flappy Bird. And then once I did that, I ended up going, I'll show you guys here. I'll actually go out. After I made Flappy Bird, I stopped taking the class and I wanted to build my own thing. So I ended up building Joust, which I don't have. I can just clone it real quick. I can show you guys, I built the 1982 arcade game, Joust, from scratch. So I did, let's try to pull it here real quick. Wow, what am I missing? : / Okay. I'll show you guys that. So like, I really love Lua. Hey, Fox Hollow, thanks for being around, man. I really appreciate you. Yeah, today was a struggle because I'm not so great at trig, but here's the game I built after taking, we've got to do love.exe. Okay. So this is what I built after taking that class. And then it took me 2 years to build this thing, but it's got 2-player mode. It's got a high score leaderboard. It's got, you know, if you don't catch the eggs, they'll hatch into a leveled up vulture that flies a little more erratically, and then on wave 3 or whatever, the platform retracts and the lava rises. There's a lava troll that'll grab you. And then there's a pterodactyl if you don't kill vultures in a certain amount of time. So that's what I did in Lua after I took that class. And then I really wanted to make like a Zelda type game. That does have sounds, Prosto, but yeah, our current game here is gonna have a lot of interesting sounds because it's actually has a lot to do with music. So we're gonna be making a lot of custom music for it, and there's actually gonna be a mini game in it, a lot like Guitar Hero, but for playing lute, and that's gonna be the equivalent of like doing dungeons in Link's Awakening. So like, instead of getting the key for the dungeon like in Link's Awakening, you're gonna be getting tablature of music, and then you have to pull out and play your lute music. You have to play the proper song to kind of like calm the ecosystem in order to unlock the next biome, basically. So it's gonna have a lot of music, and it's gonna be awesome. And I'm gonna be doing the music creation here on stream too. And I've got this little keyboard here that I can put sounds on, and I can play like string instruments on this thing. So it's not just like a MIDI keyboard, it's got more dimensions of touch. So it's gonna be fun. Yeah, Super King. I found out, and I found out about Lua through the game dev course that CS50 offers, which I really recommend. I only took like the first 3 episodes, but I'm able to do all this stuff just from watching 3 lectures of that course. And then Prosto, the music that's on my channel is actually coded by me here in Sonic Pi. So this is all the code for the music you're listening to right now, and it's just all this. So like if you're into music or anything, I would suggest checking out Sonic Pi because it's really cool. We're using certain synth sounds. We're giving it certain music notes to kind of oscillate through for this ambient sound. These long attack and release is how we get the kind of ambient blending. And then we have like these kind of like chord, that's all this stuff. So like it'll play all this stuff. So like this is all the code that is running the music live here. So like the music that's on my channel is running live here through code. So I might do a music stream where we build some new sounds on stream so that I can show off Sonic Pi a bit more. But I'm also not too great at it. It's you know, I don't practice a lot of the syntax, so I kind of have to like look at the examples and practice that. But music will be a big part of this game, and we have no sounds yet, so it's gonna be fun. So yeah, I want to get the orb a little bit more around us here, and I guess what that looks like is giving it a bigger value here, maybe 10. Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay. So if we want it to slow down just a bit, we would give this a smaller number. Yeah, this is looking good. So yeah, we've got this little Orby. This is looking cool. Here, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that float that you were saying, the format string, so that we don't do some nasty stuff. We can do, I already forgot what it was. Format, oh God. Yo, thanks for the raid, Salsa. I really appreciate that. Oh gosh. I'm already forgetting the formatted string. Inside print, and it's a string dot format, and then it's like another function we can use. String dot format, was it? But okay, no, not here. We want this to be a string dot format, and then we want it to be the percent to 2 floating values with the variable this thing. Oh, what do we do? Oh, we need a parentheses. Okay, that's better. So yeah, we want to do that. Yo, thanks for hooking me up on that again, Prosto. I really appreciate you helping out so much on stream today. Because yeah, we would not have gotten rotating balls without you today, so I appreciate you. Yeah, buddy. And then time. We don't need time. Who needs time when you got doubles? Okay. Okay, cool. And then if it is rotating this much, we don't have to rotate it behind our character necessarily. Well, I guess it could add a little something, but I don't know. So I don't know. What do you guys think about the elements being? Oh, I don't need to string because string format will make it string. Yeah. You're right. Nice, good call. Okay, so yeah, what do you guys think about, because at the beginning of this episode, I was thinking about holding a lantern, which is like full of fire, and the thing we're holding is gonna be the element for our casting. So when we hold spacebar, we use our manus, which is like our focus, and then the white indicator is like the result, the output of our focus. And when our output is in that range of green, that's a successful spell cast. So I was thinking that whatever item we're holding is our element that we're pulling energy from. And different biomes are going to have different elements. But it's just so hard to have readable items. Like, it's so hard for us to have readable elements in our hand when it's such a tiny pixels. It's just hard. It's hard because we try to make a lantern and it just didn't look great. But then this is kind of looking, if this is like always circling around us, it's a bit distracting, right? And then especially because this is what our spell casting is going to look like. It's going to be fire around us. So this is good for what our spell casting is going to look like, but not so much what our element is going to be. So I'm not exactly sure what we do for holding an element in our hand and how to make that readable, and then how to make the different elements, because we want to have like a fire element, an ice, maybe a water, earth. I don't know just yet. But like the different biomes will have different elements you can harvest to cast different kinds of spells. So if this blue one is our flame spell, it'll actually look, if we imagine animated fire instead of an orb, and then we look at our update, we would give this maybe a double amplitude here. Oh, that's too fast. That's too fast. We want it. Did I really just? Okay, delete that. Okay, we need to multiply this by 2, get a bigger arc. Yeah. So like when we cast a successful spell, it'll look something like that. And then since we increased our arc, we need to slow down this so it doesn't keep the same rotations per second, but instead moves at a, So like when we land in a successful spell cast, it'll do something like this, but instead of 1 orb, it'll be like 5 orbs coming around. Hey, have a good day, Prosto. Thanks for hanging out so much and helping. That was you made a great pie day, bringing up the unit circle for us. So, thanks, man. I hope you have a good night. Yeah, man. Hit us with one more full fun thing before you gotta go. This is really cool. I like this. But it is distracting, it is distracting if that's gonna be the element we're holding, that we're just like magically floating around us. It's a bit too distracting for the game. So I wanna figure out how we can hold an element and have it be readable. I'm not quite sure how to do that. And maybe that's just like an inventory thing. Yeah, I think we did hit affiliate just now, Super King, with the raid here. I think we did. If I refresh, yeah, we got 51. So, yeah, we're at 51. So I think in the next day or so, Twitch will hit me with that email, because I had everything set up. Yo, Super King, I really appreciate that. That'd be amazing, man. Hopefully we get that email from Twitch, and then we can set up channel points and emotes and all that stuff. I don't know how it works. So, I've only been streaming maybe 6 weeks now, but I've been loving the community. I've been having so much fun with Twitch, so I really, really love it, and I really appreciate everybody who came by on the raid today and followed, because it makes for a really cool experience tonight. So thank you guys. Yeah, I'll give. Yeah, I want to give. Remember how to shout out, but Salsa came in clutch with the raid today. That was awesome. I'll give Salsa a follow. Give you guys. I already follow Fox Hollow Games. We can give Rough Cookie. I'll check out your guys' page and see what you guys are up to. Are you guys streamers too? Yeah, nice bender pick, Super King. Love it. Oh, okay. So Salsa. Okay, Rough Cookie. So thank you, Rough Cookie. I think I just saw Salsa be the first comment, so I got confused and thought he was the raider. Yo, thanks, Rough Cookie. I really appreciate that raid, man. So you can add plus math.cosine times speed times 4 amplitude divided by 4. Okay, is that to have a constant circling no matter how big the amplitude is, right? So like you're multiplying the amplitude by how much you're shrinking the speed or whatever. So thanks for that tip, man. I'll be sure to implement that so that we don't have to play catch up when we're resizing that that amplitude. So I appreciate that. So I guess tomorrow on stream I'll do some thinking tonight, and we'll try to reconcile what we're gonna do for the elements in our hands and how we're gonna make that readable. Is that Salto back? Salto's back. I think we're gonna. It might be like we just hold like a gem. You know, it's like maybe instead of a circle gem, it's like a little diamond of whatever color the element is, and that's what we're gonna be holding. So instead of it circling us like this, our spell cast is gonna circle like this, but maybe with 5 objects of whatever the element is. So if it's fire, you know, we've got 5 fires going around us. If it's ice, we're gonna have 5 ice around us or whatever. A HUD element. Yeah, you know, I don't know what that looks like just yet. So, in the game, like we've got for your. Oh, sorry guys, I just commented E. When we run our game, we'll see like we've got geckos spawning out. So like in the game, there's a lot of creatures, and the idea is these creatures get corrupted by this goop. So they'll be covered in goop. Like think of Muck, the Pokemon, with like goopy, nasty, like spitting toxin at you. And then we'll use our element. Like for example, we might have a torch in our bedroom or whatever that we take out, and we harness the fire from that torch to cast our spell around us. But it's not a red fire torch that burns and kills the creatures. What it does is it actually purges the corruption of the geckos. So like they'll be all goopy, and our blue fire will melt away that corruption, and then when they get uncorrupted, they turn into normal geckos and they run away like they do here. So instead of killing creatures in my game, it's more about restoring balance to the ecosystem. So you have to, and there's going to be some puzzles that we have to figure out, like how do we make a change in this environment to affect the creatures and help them become uncorrupted by this goop. So different biomes are going to have not only different creatures but different elements. So Rough Cookie, your idea or your how to obtain elements, different biomes are going to have it. Yo, Prosto, have a good night, man. Yeah, thanks for all your help. I really appreciate you. Different biomes are going to have different elements. So, you know, certain spells are going to have certain strengths over enemies. and then you obtain elements from the environment of the biome that you're at, and then as you cast spells with said element, its vibrancy goes down. That's what I'm calling it, and it's a sort of like how much power it has that you can source from to cast your spells. So you can cast a certain amount of spells with your item until it loses the vibrancy, and then you have to go get another element from that biome or whatever. So I haven't figured that out yet, and I'm curious what our HUD element is gonna be like. I don't really like our magic bar being at the bottom here, but I don't know what else we can do, because like we kind of need like an inventory level or an inventory space to show what element we're currently holding, and then I don't know if there's going to be gold or anything in the game. I haven't thought that far ahead yet, but it is all stuff we're going to be figuring out here. And then we also need to not update our orbs when we're on a transition, so we'll have to remind ourselves to do that. But we'll say stop updating orbs on scene transition, and then HUD overlay for stuff, and then what do elements look like. And I don't really want it to be like you have to manage your backpack of inventory or anything. And by the way, guys, if you check out the artwork, we got some custom artwork here from Salto Manga, who made us some Sekiro artwork here. We'll show this off just because I love this so much. We'll see. So that's the custom Sekiro artwork we got made for the channel. So big shout out to Salto Manga there, because he made that for us. So check out he does art streams. So if you're into that, check out his channel, go give him a follow. I know he'll appreciate that. But yeah, I think we're just about wrapped up for the night. We've got a couple of things to focus on moving forward. Let's take a look at our git diff. We added all of our Prosto helping code here to rotate an orb around us. That's about all we've got, is the orb rotating around us today. But it was Pi Day, so we worked with some radians and did some trigonometry stuff, so that was fun. We'll say spinning orb test. So that'll be the kind of the prototype for when we cast our spells. We'll need a couple of instances of objects to be spinning around us. And then once we figure out the elements, then we can add elements into our game. And then once we've got elements that we can hold, we can add the appropriate spell cast for it. And then we can start adding bad guys, because we'll have our spell casting. And we'll do a little bit more level design, because right now it's super plain. So I'll add some more sprites. We'll do some more pixel art streams here to get different sprites for us to add and build out a more complex level. Now that we've got our colliding map objects, I've made a fence that I didn't import just yet, but I did make a little fence, and we'll make little houses, and then we'll have more of a world we can interact with very soon. So I will call it a night, but I really appreciate the raid, Rough Cookie. That was really awesome. So thank you so much for that. And I'll be back tomorrow streaming. This is Thursday. I'll be back tomorrow. I stream just about every night at 7 p.m. I think I missed like one night so far in the past 6 weeks. So we've been on a good kick. And thanks to you all today, we hit affiliate. So I'm super happy. I'm gonna see if I can return the favor raiding somebody if you guys are down. I'm not sure who we can raid. Do you guys have any raid suggestions? I've got one friend on here that is live. She does game dev stuff in Godot, so if y'all are interested in that, we'll continue the raid chain. But thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. I will catch y'all later. and thanks for watching.